Margot mentions that JD was 51-50 in No Good Deed, but what does this actually mean? Margot and JD, Linda Cardellini and Luke Wilson, make up one of the three couples trying to buy the Morgan house in Netflix's dark comedy series, and like all the rest, they carry a lot of big secrets. Each episode of No Good Deed seemed to reveal something new about all these characters until it's finally unveiled who was really responsible for murdering Jacob Morgan. For a moment, it seemed like JD might have been the killer since he had just recently had a violent mental breakdown. Wilson's No Good Deed character was a soap opera star until he brought a .40 caliber pistol on set during a mental breakdown. JD was subsequently written off the show and hasn't been able to find any work ever since. In No Good Deed Episode 2, Private Showing, JD states that this happened because of the medication he had been taking. According to him, his pills were causing him to hallucinate and impacted his marriage since his libido was significantly lowered as well. Margot reminded her husband that she had stuck with him through this, mentioning how hard it was for her when he was 51-50 ed. The 51-50 section of Welfare and Institutions Code allows for involuntary psychiatric hospitalization. JD was forcibly hospitalized after his meltdown at work. JD in No Good Deed. According to California legislative information, 51-50 is the legal code attached to the involuntary hospitalization of someone exhibiting dangerous behavior, to themselves or others, resulting from a mental health crisis. JD was 51-50 ed in No Good Deed, so he must have been hospitalized following his mental breakdown on set. Because the event involved a gun, JD didn't have to consent to this hospitalization. It's never stated in the Netflix series how long JD spent in the hospital, and no further details regarding his medication or mental condition were explored. Instead, JD's history was used to imply that he could have been a murderer. Why Margot tried to frame Jacob's murder on JD in No Good Deed. Margot knew JD's gun was used to murder Jacob. Linda Cardellini as Margot standing confidently in the house in No Good Deed. The .40 caliber pistol that JD brought on set leading to his hospitalization under Code 51-50 just happened to be the same type of weapon used to kill Jacob Morgan in No Good Deed. Paul and Lydia Morgan, Ray Romano and Lisa Kudrow, believed that it had been the 9mm handgun that their daughter Emily fired, but it was ultimately revealed that another weapon had been fired at precisely the same time. Of course, the true culprit was Margot, who had been having an affair with Jacob and killed him with JD's gun to keep her husband from finding out about it for 3 years. Margot got away with murdering Jacob because the Morgans hid the evidence to protect Emily, not realizing she hadn't killed her brother after all. However, when Lydia figured out the truth and confronted Margot, the woman tried to say that JD had shot Jacob. She stated it was entirely within his right to do so since Jacob had broken into their home. Still, Margot had no interest in protecting JD. She knew his mental health history was damning and was completely willing to take advantage. Luckily, Lydia saw right through Margot's games in No Good Deed's ending.